Okay, welcome everybody. Good morning, and I want to welcome everyone in the webinar. My gosh, there's a lot of people in here. I'm going to let a couple minutes go by and just let some more folks kind of get themselves in. But gosh, good morning, Sandy, David, Jeff, uh, Daniel, Tom. Yeah, there's a lot of you guys in here. Brian, Steven, fantastic. Jeff, will this be available for replay afterwards? Absolutely, guys. So we're actually live streaming onto our YouTube channel. So this entire recording will be on YouTube for you guys to go back to. And then you'll also receive an email once we're done with the presentation. You guys will get an email that will have a link to the YouTube channel so you can rewatch in case you need to jump out, go get on a call, go make a sale. So no worries, you won't lose any of the information that we're going to be going through today, and it's super exciting, guys. And January 6th, right? The year's here, brand new year, 2025. There are so many things that this year is going to bring to each and every one of us out here, and it really is, man, it's up to us, right? Like what we get out of this year, the things that we do. And so I think that starting off the year, I want to go into and ask just again, as we let a couple more people come in here, how are you guys starting your new year? Throw me some comments. How's 2025 started out for everybody out there so far? Are you guys ready to tackle 2025? Give me a thumbs up if you guys are ready to take on 2025 and have literally the best year that you've ever had. If you're new to this industry that you've ever had, and if you've been in this industry, is this the best year that you're going to have so far? Give me a thumbs up. Give me a yes. Let's get some blood flowing in here. Let's get people excited because I'm excited, guys. I'm super excited. I'm here with Chad. Chad is my sales director. He's been a good buddy of mine for, going on almost 25 plus years. We've known each other for a long time, and he's been helping me with sales and just being an incredible partner. He's been in business for many years. So when I got the opportunity to bring Chad on, it was a no-brainer for me. So if you guys book an appointment or you end up talking to us, more than likely you'll be talking to Chad or you'll be talking to Stephanie. There's a couple of people out there, but Chad's going to be moderating today the webinar. So any comments or anything, he's going to be able to answer and give you guys some details so that I can focus on just kind of delivering the message. Look at this. Look at all this. Yes, everyone's ready for 2025, guys. This is incredible. I'm pumped. I think we get this thing rolling. People are in. There's about, it looks like right now there's 100. We're up to 99. So we got 100 people in the event. Again, we're at 100. There we go. So welcome everybody. Where are we from? Where are we tuning in from? Throw me a state. Where are you guys at? I'll start. I'm right now in South Florida. That's where I'm originally from. And that's where I'm at right now. We also live in Colombia in South America, and I'll be there probably in the next couple days. But we've been down here for the holiday. All right, we got Michigan in the house. We got PA, San Diego. Let's go. Texas, Cali. I see people from everywhere. Fantastic. Tampa, Florida. I was just in Siesta Key a couple weeks ago. Look at that. New York. Colorado Springs, fantastic. One of my favorite areas in the country. Big shout out to Koss out there. I'm a big mountain biker, so I love going out there and do some mountain biking. Fantastic. So we got people from everywhere on here. Guys, here's what we're going to talk about today, just so you kind of have an outline of what we're doing. We're going to go through exactly what it takes to produce $15,000 a week as a final expense agent. This is not easy. This is not easy. This is hard work, guys. But if you're committed and you truly are in this business to become the best version of yourself and to succeed, $15,000 a week, which equals to about $60,000 of production written per month, is what top producers are out there producing right now. And it's not just like a fluke, one or two people, guys. If you're in the top percent, I would say top 3%, 4%, maybe even 5% of final expense producers, these are the numbers that you're putting up, right? This 15,000 number that I chose to talk about, and the specific breakdown of how the leads are generated and the system that an agent that does this kind of volume or production goes through. It wasn't like, let me just pull this out of thin air, right? It was actually me taking the data. We have about 70, it's almost 70 agents that are actively in our ad management program, that we've helped create these lead generation systems for. And of those, I compiled the top 10, right? The top 10, 12 agents in that program. And guys, of those top 10 agents, about 7 or 8 of them, right? Just in my own group, my own clients, right? Not all the people that are doing final expense, but just in my own circle that I manage and that I help, I have 10 to 12 people that are consistently writing 10 to 15,000. I have a couple of people that are blowing it out of the water, people that are doing over 15,000. So these are attainable numbers. That's the first thing that I want to talk to you guys. Now, if you're brand new to final expense insurance, and give me a notice here, talk to me, give me some feedback. How many people are brand new to final expense, have never sold a deal? And how many people are actually been in the business and you're just at a place where you're trying to get to the next level, right? You're kind of here, but you need to get here. Tell me where you guys are. That way I can focus a little bit and give you guys each information that's going to apply to you best, right? Okay, so we got new, 4 weeks, brand new, but it has been a while. New, fantastic. Dan, you're new. Greg, okay, licensed since 2018. There we go. We got a vet in the house. I love it. Okay, new, getting there. Okay, so mainly new folks, right? So then here, new to FE, but experience in life. Fantastic, Stan. So you got some good background on it. I've been licensed in life and health for a few years, written about 60 policies. Fantastic, Jeff. So you already have a good handle on what you're doing. And now it's about how do I create more, right? How do I get to this place where I see others getting to? Is it attainable, right? And that's where I want to start off today. These numbers are very attainable, guys. Now, if you're brand new to final expense, we need to get you to write 5,000 a week, right? And then 7,000 a week, and then 10,000 a week, and on towards your goal of 15,000 a week, knowing that this is production that is very attainable. And we're going to go through exactly the things that you need to do and you'll need to have the opportunity to reach those numbers. Okay. Who are the best carriers? We'll go through that. I'll give you some carriers. Remember, guys, I'm going to focus today lead generation, and I will give you some carriers. And if luck has it on our side, guys, I might have somebody that's going to pop in for 5 or 10 minutes towards the end of this webinar who is actually a top producing agent, one of my clients that has been writing with me through our system since March, I believe. And someone that has an incredible story. So she's on the phones dialing. So she said to me, hey, if I'm not on a call and I'm not selling a deal, I'm happy to jump in for a couple minutes. So I'm hoping that she can make it in. If she can, it'll just be more value to everybody, guys. So, but mainly a lot of new folks. Here's the next level person. So Anthony Y, you're trying to go to the next level. We got a goal of 25,000 for Daniel. Got it. Back in the industry. Okay, so we got a little bit of everything in here. Kimberly says new, inability to get leads. Stem me first to 2024, wanting to see if I can get it going well enough to just do final expense and Medicare. Okay, leads, guys, right? Leads is the bloodline of production. But there's more pieces to leads, right? And I think it's important. I want to make sure, because when I put this webinar together and I talked to David and he said, hey, let's deliver not just like leads, right? But let's give them a true breakdown. So that's what I did when I thought about this event. I said, okay, I'm literally going to take the day-to-day process and the systems that a top tier agent right now is doing. And I'm going to give you guys all of that information from A to Z, right? From they start in the morning, how many hours are they putting in? How many dials are they doing per week? What does their day look like? How do they overcome objection? All these things along with the actual lead generation system. Now, at the end of this, you're going to have the opportunity to connect with us and talk to myself and talk to Chad. If you feel that what we are doing for other agents and for people in final expense is something that could help you get to that level, then you'll have an opportunity to book a call and we could see if we can help you reach those goals, right? Today is about value, guys. I'm not looking to sell you anything. I truly am here to provide you with a roadmap of what my top clients are using. And if you can go do that on your own, God bless you. Get out there and do it. Take on 2025. If you need the assistance, that's what we're here for. That's what we do. So let me introduce myself, guys. Oscar Gonzalez. I am the founder of Scale My Social. I'm an agent myself. I've had a team of agents that do final expense for a few years now. I started as a health insurance agent about 3 years ago. I came in heavy into the insurance business. My background before insurance, so if I go back 3 years past that, I ran an e-com company that I started back in 2012, and I started that company with a partner of mine from zero. We started in a closet in another friend's office, and we grew that business to $7 million a year, guys, selling products online using online ads, social media marketing, affiliate tracking, all these things that I now use in the insurance world, I've been using since about 2012 to sell products. In 2020, I sold the business, I got out, and I was looking for my next move. I was looking to see where I was going to go into, what my goal was going to be. And before ecom, sales has been a big part of me. I'm a salesperson at heart. I've been selling stuff since I was 15, 16 years old. I'm now 43 years old. And other than the 8 years that I did ecom, my life has revolved around sales training, call centers, and then again, ecom came along, and I got a tremendous amount of experience on running ad campaigns and how to generate leads, how to get to people, right? How to get to consumers, how to strike a nerve and try to get them to react, whether it's buy a product, fill out a lead, any of those things. So I took that knowledge that I had and I went into insurance. I started in health, and I quickly realized, for those of you that have done health or have thought about it, particularly ACA, it's one of those businesses where you need a lot of capital because each commission is very little. So I quickly ran into that obstacle and said, wait a second, I'm going to need hundreds of thousands of dollars to build an agency for ACA, the size that I was looking at. And so I immediately started looking at products that could help me cash flow my business. Final expense became that product. When I found it, when I found the model of commission advancement, the idea that I could generate a lead, close a lead today on one call, right? Which is a very important part of this, being able to close a sale on the first call. And from that sale, generate $800 to $1,200. That was a game changer in comparison to ACA health insurance. So when I found that, I went all in on final expense. And in the first month that I was doing final expense, guys, I didn't do much business because I hit a wall, right? I came across the same thing that most of you guys have or will come across, which is, how do I sell final expense? How do I get leads for final expense? Who is the best carrier? Which somebody was already asking in the webinar, right? Like, what are the carriers? And then, guys, once you have someone on the phone, how do you know what carrier to bring them to, right? What's the best carrier for that person? If an application crashes in the middle of the application, what do I do? Am I losing that deal? How do I overcome these obstacles and things that are going to happen to all of us when we first start in final expense? I went through that. I spent the first 30 days just falling headfirst on myself, trying to figure out, trying to look for a pitch, trying to look for a system. And I quickly understood that if I didn't have those things, right? If I didn't have a system to plug into to get leads, if I didn't have a training or coaching system to plug into that could help me learn quickly, right, the ins and outs of the business, the carriers, all the things that we need to know to sell a deal. If I didn't have those things in place, that I was going to spend a lot more money and it was going to take me a lot longer to figure these things out. It's not that you can't do it, it's how much longer is it going to take you if you don't have the right system, or if you have to go to 2 or 3 different IMOs to find the right one, or if you have to figure out who's going to coach you, who's going to take you through and teach you how to sell final expense, right? You could do it on your own, but guys, it will take you a lot longer. And so when I realized those things, what did I do? I did 2 things. One, I knew how to create leads. I knew how to run ads. So that part I had covered. What I didn't have was a system that would teach me what carrier to use, how to properly sell final expense. Even though I'm a good salesperson and I know I can sell, I had no idea of the product, right? The product knowledge. What were the pain points that somebody has to get triggered in order for them to say, you know what, I really do need to get this for my family, right? Because anybody who's over the age of 50 that has children needs final expense. They all do, right? Every one of them. But what actually gets that person to buy final expense, right? Those are 2 very different things. And if you can close that gap between an actual need and actually getting somebody to take action, that is what being a good salesperson is about. So I found that, I tapped into that. Now I had leads and I had a training system that I went headfirst into. I listened, I took the information. I'm a coachable person, or I like to think that I am. And in month 2, guys, I did close to 22,000. I think it was 23,000. Month 3, I did 35. Month 4, I was at 42,000 a month in production. And that was because I took that first month, I found the system, I got my lead set up, and I started just pitching, right? I started figuring out what works and what doesn't. And that's one of the first things that I got to tell you guys again that you want to have is, guys, making sure that you have a system in place before you start buying leads, before you start spending money on things, right? Number 1, are you licensed? If you're not licensed, you got to go get your licenses, right? You want to be in as many states as you can afford to do. Ideally, you want to at least start in 10 to 15 states. That's where you want to be, right? And once you're licensed, now you need to get contracted. Make sure that you have your contracts. If anybody needs help with any of that, drop us a line. I'm happy to refer you to some really, really great IMOs. I myself am not recruiting, but I do manage and help some massive, massive agencies out there. So if you guys need a referral, like, hey, I'm looking for a good IMO, hit me up for that. Now, states, contracts, good. Now you can write. Right? Now you have those 2 things. Now we need to focus on the 2 next things, leads and a system, right? Leads and a system. And I'll touch on coaching and sales and that in a little bit, but going right into how can I get to write $15,000 a week? And by the way, this is a final expense breakdown, but I see a couple of people on here that are saying, hey, I want to generate leads for MedSup, for T65, for Medicare, for mortgage protection, for IULs, annuities. Guys, this system works for any line of insurance, right? Lead generation works for any line of insurance or any business. The difference between one and the other is just the messaging on those ads, right? What does our message say? Are we targeting people that maybe want an annuity, that want final expense, that want health insurance? But the actual structure, the nuts and bolts of everything is exactly the same. So here at Scale My Social, we manage and run all lines of insurance. The only one that we're not in right now is PNC. So if you're a PNC agent, that is rolling out later on this year. But right now, we manage over $1 million. We're up to about $1.4 million a month in ad management, guys. And that's mainly in life, mortgage protection, final expense, annuities, IULs. and health, private health, Medicare, ACA. That's our bread and butter. Again, hundreds of agents at this point have gone through our program to generate leads. So what is the program about, and how does an agent get to this 15,000? So I'm going to take my agent that I used as this case study, and we're going to call her Daniela, right? So Daniela is an agent that's been in this business for a year and spent the first 4 months of that business, of the business, looking for leads, right? She went and bought live transfers. She went and bought age data, which now you can't even do, right? From the one-to-one consent. I'll touch on that in a little bit. But she bought age data. She bought live transfers. She tried generating her own leads. She bought leads online from all these lead vendors that are out there. And you guys know them. You see them every day. There's 5 or 6 of them that are out there. Some of them do okay, right? My challenge, or my thing with lead vendors or buying leads from a lead vendor, it's not that they're not good leads. It's the cost of buying a lead at a retail value versus wholesaling the lead really puts a damper on your ability to learn quickly how many leads you can get, therefore how many pitches you actually can get out to become a good salesperson. Because guys, the only way you become a better salesperson is by taking shots, right? Just like in sports, the only way LeBron or Tiger Woods or any of these major professionals out there, the only way they get better is by practice, is by taking shots, shot after shot. So if you're out there and you're buying leads and a lead's costing you $20-30 a lead, how many leads can you buy per week? Versus if you can actually generate that lead at a fraction of the cost, you're going to be in a position where you're going to have a lot more leads. Therefore, you're going to take a lot more shots, and you're going to reduce the amount of time that it's going to take you to learn the business and to generate a profit from your investment. Does that make sense to everybody right now? Let me know. How many of you out there have already bought leads or have started trying to run your own campaigns? Throw me some feedback. Let me see what we got out here before I kind of continue. Next level, return, and let's see what we got. Licensed, Spanish market. We'll talk about the Spanish market. Fantastic. Sold new homes, American market for 20 years. Yes, perfect. Thursday, bought leads, mainly use mail drop leads, very expensive now. Yeah, guys, that's a big shift, right? People coming from mail leads or mailers that are just getting more and more expensive. And again, as a new agent, those are really, really tough to do. I've tried a ton of leads and webinars. I've had most, don't work out so much. Okay, so good. So some of you have tried running ads. You've bought leads. And each one of you has a different reason why it hasn't worked, right? This particular agent, Daniela, she was at a place, and this is her own words, right? When we talk about this, going back a year when she first started, she was all over the place. She wasn't organized. She wasn't putting her mind to one thing and focusing on just one thing, and that is activity, right? That is activity. So she went and she tried the live transfers. I think she was spending $50, $55 for a phone call, but she wasn't that great of a salesperson a year ago. And so she was throwing money out quickly, right? She was spending hundreds of dollars a day on live transfers, but her skill wasn't at the level where it needed to be. And so she failed out, right? She spent too much money too fast and she wasn't learning. Then she went to age data. She said, well, let me try something else. I'm going to go buy these age leads. And she started dialing the age leads. And she realized that she would sit and she would dial for an hour or two and then get up and take a little break and go walk around. And then an hour later, she had to go pick up her kids from school. And then once her kids got home from school, it was really tough for her to start like getting back on the phones and dialing. And so she decided and said, these don't work either, right? These age leads don't work because I got to sit there and dial. I got to be there all the time. I'm not getting everybody to pick up the phone. What do I do? Then she went and ran her own ads, and she started running an ad, but she had no idea how to target. Am I over targeting? Am I asking too many questions on a lead form? How should my creative look, sound, feel? All these things that are real questions when you run a campaign. She didn't know any of them. What she knew is that what she had just tried didn't work, and she was on to the next thing and on to the next thing and on to the next thing. And that becomes a lot of what we do as new agents. We're going for the next thing, for the next thing, for the next thing, because we don't really know what works or how to make something work. So our mind takes us to, well, this doesn't work. What's the next thing? Well, this doesn't work. What's the next thing? And that's what I was mentioning to you guys in the beginning, that you'll find yourself spending time and money trying to figure out what works. But if you don't know what really works, how could you find it? Right? Think about that. If you're a new agent and you've never ran a successful life insurance or final expense agency or pipeline, right? And you haven't produced, how do you know what works? Right? What you end up doing is you end up assuming that something doesn't work because the way that you tried it didn't yield you the results. Guys, I'm here to tell you that I have agents that came to me that have been producing on age leads, right? And they're just done with the age leads. They wanted a little bit better quality, but they produced off it. I have agents that produce off of $50 and $60 live transfers. I have agents that run their own ads and do it. I have agents that have bought leads and it works, right? So what I'm here to tell you is that it's not a secret, right? It's not a special lead that's going to get you to $15,000 a week, guys. It's not. I don't have any secret that's going to get you to $15,000 a week. I have a system that we put in place that if you put your head down and do the work that you're supposed to do and not let all the noise around you distract you and pull you away from the task at hand, that you too can become a $15,000 a week producer. And that was the same conversation that I had with Daniela, right? She came to me and she said, hey, Oscar, I got referred to you. And I think it might have been deferred by David, or I think somebody asked. Yes, we have ran and we set up David Dufour's entire free lead program, right? I helped David create it, roll it out, and manage it. That's what we did. And we've helped David get to over $1 million in production. We took David on as a client last year. I mean, in 2023, sometime in August, guys. And we started implementing. We help him build the CRM. We help him build lead distribution systems. We help him build everything. And a year later, as you guys know, most of you have seen, he is now running his own free leads program, doing over $1 million a month. Like him, guys, I have about a dozen other agencies that we've done the same thing with. So this isn't new to me. This process and this system to take a new agent or a new agency and get them to produce is not something new for us. It's something that I've been doing now every single day for a couple of years. So now this conversation, this is important, guys. Listen to this. I had with Daniela, we sat down and I asked her these questions. I said, well, why didn't age leads work? And she gave me a reason. And then I said, well, why didn't these work? Why didn't these work? And the common theme, guys, was that she would do this for a week or two and then jump, and then go to another thing and do that for 2 or 3 weeks and then jump and then jump and then jump. She never gave anything the right amount of time to actually work, right? And she didn't know what she was looking for to understand if it was working or not. So she had no guidance. She just kept shutting it off and going to the next thing. And so if you're in that place right now, where you've tried 3, 4, 5 different lead sources and nothing has worked, it's not the lead sources, guys. It's the system and what you're doing on your end that's preventing you from seeing something through. And again, not your fault. You just don't know it, right? If you don't know what success looks like for a final expense agent, How could you possibly get there quick, right? How could you possibly not go through those things? So it's important that you guys understand and realize that there's people out there right now writing $10,000 a week off of aged leads. Do I recommend it? Absolutely not. It's really quite a lot of work. You're going to have to dial a lot more than you normally would. And now again, with the one-to-one consent, it's almost impossible to do, right? So I don't recommend it. But could you write $10,000 a week? Yes, you can. Have I seen it done? Yes, I have. Same thing with all these other lead sources. So it's important that you guys understand that if you don't know what actually works, you're just going to be chasing one thing after another, wasting time and money. Does that make sense to everybody? Drop me a like, drop me a yes if you feel like you're at that place or have been to that place where it's like, man, you keep trying something, then you cut it off and try something else, and then you look back and you're no further ahead. Does that sound like something you guys have gone through, or anybody on here that's now that you've gone through? I'm going to read some of these other comments while you guys are answering. I have most don't work out so much. Yep, Lisa, here it is. See, so this is the common theme that I always hear agents talk about. I've done it all over the years and cost has always been very expensive. CRM Center, hit or miss. Okay, 40 or 50 each lead, Jeff says. I get free leads paid by my carrier, but they are limited amounts and lots of them have been recycled. Yep, that's a problem, right? Sean, you don't have enough leads. So if you're getting them free from a carrier, but they're not giving you enough, you're stuck. You're stuck, my friend, and you're not going to be able to get to a higher production until you take on and until you do some of these other things. I got locked out of Facebook. Boy, that happens a lot, Alejandro. That does happen. People get locked out of Facebook. Now more than ever, Facebook is being strict about who's on it, how you run it. We help people get unlocked, get situated, and find workarounds. Kimberly Witten, amen. Yep, you know it, girl. You know what I'm talking about. Yes. So everybody, right. So everybody understands and sees that. That is truly what happened. By the way, all of us went through this. All of us go through this process where it's like, all right, I got to go here. 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 And we follow the next shiny thing. I promise you guys that if you stick to one system, right, and you go and you dial and you get your head clobbered in a few times for that first 30 days, you will come out on the other side with a better understanding. You'll have a couple bruises, right? You'll have a couple bruises and you'll be, shaking your head a little bit, but you will have a much better understanding. And that's what I told Danielle. I said, Danielle, and I could tell from talking to Danielle that she was an incredible salesperson. I just knew it. I knew that she was capable of doing this. She just needed some guidance. So I said, here's the deal, Danielle. I will take you on as a client, okay? And I'm going to set this up and I'm going to create this for you. But what I need from you is I need 60 days, right? I need 60 days where you're not going to let anything distract you, right? Any shiny objects that you see online and that you see influencers posting. And then I'm going to need you to commit to really dialing the phones, right? I need you to take accountability. And I want you guys to think about this right now. Take accountability for if you start calculating on a day-to-day basis, how many times am I actually dialing leads? How much time am I actually spending working, like really working? Because when I did this exercise years ago, I found out that, I would get up at 8 a.m. or 7 a.m. I'd grab my coffee. I'd sit down in front of my computer. I'd spend 40 minutes running through emails. Then I'd spend 40 minutes looking at the new stuff that's out. Then all of a sudden my wife called me and I'd get up and go do something. And then I sat back down and then I dialed for 45 minutes and then I got back up. And what I noticed was that even though I thought I was working, right, a full 7-8 hours, I wasn't. And I'm almost certain that if you guys start accounting, right, really accounting for what your day looks like, you're also going to notice that when everything is said and done, you're just not really working, right? You're in front of your computer, but you're not really doing the activity that yields sales. The activity that yields sales, right, is turning off everything around us, right? Logging onto a dialer and just dialing minute after minute, hour after hour. Sometimes, you get up for the bathroom, you get up to eat lunch, but that is it. And that was one of the first identifiers that this agent said to me. She said, man, Oscar, you're so right. Nobody's ever said this to me. But if I take account for the time that I actually do spend dialing and working, I'm maybe working a couple hours a day, right? When you break it all down and you really are accountable with yourself, you're going to start seeing that you're not dialing for 6-7 hours a day, right? And I will tell you right now, this agent, right? And in December, I'm going to show you guys the breakdown. In December, this agent wrote $76,000 in annual premiums in December for final expense. That's what she wrote. Now, how did she do that? Because December is one of those months where I personally am one of the people that'll say, the holidays, people don't want to buy. I'm going to take a step back a little bit and I'm going to come strong again in January. Guess what? This agent didn't do that. This agent doubled the amount of time she started working, right? And she wrote $76,000 in 1 month, guys, selling final expense using the same system that we're about to break down here in 2 seconds with you guys. So what did she do? She worked. In December, I went through. I just had the call with her last week because we did an end of month review with her. Guys, she was working 60 to 70 hours a week. And I mean dialing. I mean, like, she puts on her headset. She locks herself in. She's hired someone to take over the kids when they get off of school. She now logs into a dialer and she just sits and focuses in on what she's doing day in and day out. She doesn't stop to read emails. She doesn't stop to do any of that stuff. Now, she schedules her week so that on certain days, she's responding to clients. She's taking care of things that need to be taken care of. And now she's at a place where she has hired a VA to help her do some of that side work, right? So that she can do what? Focus on activity, focus on dialing. And that, you will find, is what a lot of you guys out there are missing, right? So then I said, commit to this. Give me these 90 days. Give me these 60 days where you come in and you sit in a room with me and dial, and I'm going to watch and I'm going to oversee it. And if I hear you say something off, I'll help you. And that's what we did, guys. We set up her ads. First thing that we did is we said, okay, I'm going to provide you with the system, the lead generation system. What does the lead generation system entail? Well, what we do is we create video ads, right? This is how we reach people on social media. I don't do a lot of images. I've always done videos. It's how I've sold products since 2012. It's how I built the business to $7 million a year, was by running video ads. So when I came into this business, I didn't change that. And as a matter of fact, I doubled down on it because I saw so many campaigns that are out there that do not use video. So I said, you know what? I'm going to stick with video ads. And I create 3 to 5 videos for a campaign. This is what I did with Danielle, right? We created 3 to 5 videos that are specific to her line of insurance. Now, what does that video look like? Right? I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you what that video looks like. I'm going to share one of the videos with you so that you guys can have a good understanding of what a good creative looks like. Okay. A good final expense creative. So let me share that here with you guys now. And I'm going to put this right here. 1 second. Okay. All right, so I'm going to share this with you guys because the first step to all of this, right, is the creatives. Do you have a good creative that's capturing people's attention, right? So let's think about this. Somebody's on Facebook and they're 50, 55 years old, and you want to reach them. You want them to fill out your lead form for final expense. Well, how do we do that? Number one, we need to focus on one thing. People on Facebook are not looking for insurance, right? Nobody is. None of us are looking to buy things on Facebook, even though products are fed to us and ads on services are fed to us 24/7. nobody's really on there looking for those things. So with that first thought in mind, a creative needs to tackle that. It needs to focus on the idea that this person is just scrolling. So how do we get them to stop scrolling, watch our video, and then take an action? Well, we do this by creating good messaging, right? By focusing on a powerful hook that will get someone to stop scrolling. Then pain points, right? Talking about what happens, what is the result of somebody not having final expense insurance for their family. So we highlight those things. We highlight things like your family being burdened a day after you die with a bill of $15,000. We highlight the result of that person not taking the action. And then we follow it up with solutions, right? Final expense can be an affordable plan that can help you protect your family. There are no medical exams. There are, no waiting periods. All these things that provide the solution. That is the template for a good video creative. A hook, a pain point, solutions, and a call to action. These are the 4 things you need to have in your video or in any creative if you want to have a chance at that creative actually yielding you leads. Okay. 4 things. Okay. The call to action is what you want them to do after you've delivered these other 3 components. What do you want them to do? Click below and answer a few questions. Click below and connect with an agent. Click below and book an appointment. Those are call to actions. So that's the first thing that we do is we create the video. I'm going to show you a video right now. Let me share my screen. Okay. Can everybody see that young lady on the camera? Thumbs up, everybody. We're good. Give me a thumbs up. Chad, can you see that? Good. Okay, here we go. All right, let's play it.
Protect your loved ones for less than $1 a day. Planning ahead is the best gift you can give your family. Burial insurance covers funeral costs and final expenses so they don't have to. And here's the best part. I saved 30% on my policy by signing up online. It was quick, just about 10 minutes, and no medical exams needed.
Your family will
Now I can rest easy knowing my family's taken care of. Why wait? Click below and get quotes from every carrier in your state right now and see how affordable peace of mind can be.
Okay. So now that's a raw video, guys, right? That's all that is. That is just a raw video of the message. But if you notice, we went right into it, right? We went right into for $1 a day, you can protect your family. All right. So if you're scrolling and you're over 50 and you have a family and you haven't done this, that's going to capture you, right? That's going to call your attention because as parents, man, we feel guilty. I felt guilty when I first had kids and I didn't have life insurance. It was like a thought in my mind that was constant. And so if I saw in my feed a video that pointed this out, it would have certainly called my attention. And that's what we did. Now, that's a raw video. What do we do with the video once it gets going and once we have that raw version created? I'm going to show you. Let me show you what we do then, right? Because that's step 1, making the video. Now we're going to edit it, right? So let me show you what an edited version looks like, which is one that is actually going to now run, right? We're going to run this on a campaign. Everybody see the younger lady on there now? Thumbs up. I think so. Yes, perfect. Okay, so let me play this one. Then you'll see how this is edited, right? The production that's done on it.
Your family will pay over $14,000 to cover your death bills. And between the medical and funeral costs, it could be way more. Leaving your family with this cost is something that no parent wants. A friend told me about burial plans that are state-approved programs, and they cover 100% of final expenses. They don't require medical exams, and approvals are guaranteed. You just need to answer a few questions. If you're over 50 and you have not set something up to help your family pay your final expenses, then you need this. Click below and answer a few questions.
Okay, so that's a produced video, right? That's a creative that we get the actor, actress to do that. And then we have in-house editors that do everything else, captions, B-roll, everything else that you see to now make a professional, well put together creative that is going to set above the rest of the stuff that's out there, guys. Because if you're in insurance and you go out there and you look at some of these ads, gosh, it's embarrassing when I see some of these ads that are out there running. And why those people are not getting results, it's because their creatives are not very good, right? So we focus, number one, on creatives. We made 3 to 5 of those videos. Then what do? Then we take those 3 to 5 videos and we create campaigns on Facebook. Okay. We create campaigns on Facebook that will target those people based on an age and based on a state, right? So if you're in 10 states, the campaign is focused on those 10 states for you. And if you're doing final expense, we're going to target people 50 and over, right? And then we're going to work our magic creating those campaigns. And when we create those campaigns, right, people are looking at the video, then clicking through on the video, then they're answering questions to fill out the lead form. Well, what are the questions and what does it look like? What does a campaign actually look like? Well, here's a campaign, right, from last month. This is the agent that I'm talking about, right? My case study that last month did $76,000. These were her expenses, right? And these were the leads that she generated. So for the month of December, she generated a total of 774 leads per month, for the month, divided into 4. She did 193 leads a week, guys. Just so you have an understanding of what does it take to write 10,000, 15,000 a week. It takes volume, guys. You've got to get a lot of leads to produce those kinds of numbers. You will never see an agent that writes $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 a week doing it on 20 leads a week, 30 leads a week, 40 leads a week. That is not going to work, guys. That is not going to work. So if you've ran an ad and you're spending $20 a day or $30 a day, and 2 days went by or a week went by and you didn't get a sale and you turned it off, it's not that the ad didn't work. It's that you didn't give it enough capital, right? And again, the ad might have been set up incorrectly, but the sheer volume that you're getting is never going to get you to where you want to be. We always hear this, right? This is a common saying always. It takes money to make money, right? And guys, in insurance and in any business, guys, I was going to say in insurance, it's even more true. Guys, I've never been in a business where I didn't have to spend. My biggest spend has always been marketing. I've never been in a business where my biggest spend wasn't marketing. And I've never been in a business that I generated over $1 million a year for where marketing wasn't my biggest expense. Does that make sense to everybody? That if you're not spending the money, you're not going to make the money, guys. These numbers, $15,000 a week, it's not done on $200-$300 a week, guys. It's done on exactly what you're seeing here. This is the exact dollar amount that this agent spent last month on her ads. $5,229. That's what she spent. She had an average lead cost of $6.83 on one campaign. She had an average of $6.75 on the other campaign, as you guys can see. We set up multiple campaigns for you.
How many states? How many states was she in?
She specifically, guys, is in over 30 states right now, okay? Because she didn't start in 30 states. She started in about 10, right? Because 30 states is a bigger expense. But what happens, guys, is when you're marketing on Facebook, the more people you can market to, the lower your costs are going to be. It's a supply and demand marketplace. That's when you run ads, when you're paying to run ads, which is what you're doing when you do this, it's supply and demand. So the more people you can reach, the lower your costs are going to be. If you want to see these results, $6 leads, $5 leads, $7 leads, you're going to need to be in 10, 15 plus states. And as you start making money, you need to quickly get yourself up to 30 plus states, 40 plus states. It was a great question, Chad, because if I look at my top 10 agents, right? Remember I mentioned to you guys, I have about 70 agents in this program. The top 10, 12 agents, all of those people are doing over 10,000 a week. All of those people are in 30 plus states at this point, right? They've seen it. They've made the investment to get there. Do you need to do this right now? No. But if you're going to get into lead generation, you certainly want to be in at least 10 states and quickly having a formula for when you're going to add 5 more and 5 more and 5 more and get yourself to 30. Okay. States is a big, big thing that we want to make sure we have situated, right? So, but we have that, right? We created the campaigns come in, the leads are being generated. Now, what do? The leads generate and they just go into a spreadsheet and she just calls them from her cell phone. The back end process, which is huge, guys. The back end process is, for me, I think, the biggest part after creative. The biggest component of a lead generation system is how you nurture people and what you're doing with a lead once it gets created. Okay. So our system that we set up and what we did for this agent is very simple. We provided a CRM for her to go into, right? You choose the CRM that you want. We work with a bunch of different ones. There's a bunch of them out there. We're partners with most of them, guys. And in that CRM, we are going to set up everything for you. All the automation so that when a lead comes in, the steps that happen are the following. Notification goes out to the agent. Hey, a new lead came in, go get it. As soon as that lead hits the CRM, we have ChatGPT bots that are going to engage with that lead and are going to say, hey, Chad, thank you so much for requesting information about final expense programs on Facebook. I see that your zip code is 12345. Is that correct? Right? And that's the automation, the bot that's reaching out, engaging with every single lead that comes in. So even if you're not available, if you're on the phone selling a deal, if you're doing something else and you can't answer that person, the lead automatically gets engaged by the CRM. And as soon as that person responds, 2 things are going to happen. The agent either sees that response and sees, wow, now I have someone that's responded. Now that person watched my video, clicked on my ad, filled out my lead form, and now they're responding to my text message. Man, that's a person I need to call right now. So the system that we build helps you identify, right, who are the people who are most likely to spend money with you. Because if we look at this example, guys, right, she got 774 leads in December. She closed 64 deals. Okay, 64 deals, right? That means that out of 774 people, she had to get hung up on. She had, 64, about 700 people, guys, just a little over 700 people said no to this agent, hung up on this agent, told her to F off, never call me again, or she pitched them and couldn't convert. All the reasons that happen, right? For her to get 64 deals, which equaled $75,000 in production, she had to go through 700 plus people that said no to her or that didn't pick up the phone. Think about that, because this is where I lose a lot of you guys. This is where agents go, well, I generated 20 leads this week on my campaign. Why don't I have $5,000 in production? Right? If you think that you generate a lead and that lead owes you anything, right? Whether that's pick up the phone when you call, answer your text, say yes to you, you have got the absolute wrong mindset, and this business is going to chew you up and spit you out in the next 3 months, guys. Right? You are not generating sales. You are generating leads. You are looking for people that have some sort of interest in what you have to sell them. Some people that fill it out are going to be super interested and they really need it and they're ready to buy. And the majority of the rest of those people, it sounded good. Let me see what this is about. I need it, but do I need it now? I need it, but do I need to jump on a call with this person right now? Or can I wait a month or two before I buy this insurance? Right? That's what they're thinking about. So if you start, your ego starts letting you think about, well, I generated 20 leads. Why aren't 20 people picking up the phone? You're going to fail out of this business because that's just not how sales work. That's just not how leads work. That is just not how business works, guys, right? You generate X amount, and of that amount, a percentage of those people are going to become your clients. It's your activity and the work that you do that will find you those people within that pool, right? And let's calculate this. She did 64 deals. If I divide 64 into the total amount of leads that she generated, she closed 8.2% of all the leads that came in. All the leads that came in, 8.2% is what she did in December, right? So there you go. Now, from the people that she actually talks to, right? From the people that she gets a pitch out, her closing rate is probably closer to 30, 40%, right? But the biggest struggle in this and any other sales business is contacts, getting people to pick up the phone, right? And that doesn't become easier. Whether you buy the lead, generate the lead, it doesn't matter. That is still the struggle that everybody in this business and in any other industry is facing right now, because we just don't like to pick up the phone. That's something we don't like. I don't do it. If I see a strange number, I'm not picking it up. And likely you're not either. How many people out there right now, and be honest, if you get a spam call, and I know you get dozens of them a day, how many of those calls are you guys actually picking up per day? Give me a number. Do you pick up? Some people might say, I don't even pick them up. Let's hear some of the responses while I run through some of these comments that have been made. Let's see. Through social media, running amazing, 70 a day. I got 9 leads just yesterday, and I've gotten licensed in 10 or more states, and will be reaching out to my ad spend. Very good. Nice work, Joseph. See, so you're getting the hang of it. Things are going good. Cost was about 10K to make 76, a little bit lower, right? Her spend was a total of 5,200. She actually spent 5,200 to spend to make 64K. Of course, to make 75K. Of course, there's a drop off, right? From that 75, maybe 15% cancel or don't go through, right? Maybe 20%. Even when you back out those numbers, guys, the cost per acquisition is outrageous that this agent is getting, and many others. I ain't trying to drive myself to exhaustion. That makes sense, man. Look, if you're looking to build a business, guys, if you're looking to build something that's sustainable and that you look at and people say, wow, how did this person do it? You are going to have to push yourself to exhaustion, guys. Once again, I have never been in a business that has been successful, and I talk about millions of dollars per year in revenue, that didn't require me to exhaust myself, that didn't require me to put every single piece of energy that I had into that, because the business doesn't care if you don't want to be exhausted. The business doesn't care if you are tired today. The business only cares about going and growing and growing. And if you don't do it, somebody else does it, right? So these are the things that I mean, guys. If you're out there and you are committed, right, to being a top performing final expense agent, life insurance agent, building an agency, any of these things out here, it's never going to happen half tone, guys. It's just not. And take the accountability on yourself that if that's your expectation, you might be better off in a different position, in a different industry. If you are going to be a life insurance agent, this is going to bring you in a world when, guys, you are going to have to work to exhaustion. You are going to have to dedicate time. You are going to have to put in not just money, because money's not just is the answer. Work, sweat, and tears, guys. That's what I did. That's what every single person that you see on social media that is running a successful career in sales, in insurance, that's what they've done. And anybody that tells you otherwise is lying to you because they're trying to sell you something that will make you feel like you don't have to do the work to get there. Here, buy this, and you're going to get there, and you're just going to waste your money. There is no one out there that is producing these numbers that isn't working themselves to an exhaustion. Now, you will get over a hump where you can take a step back and start implementing systems and process that will take you back and not have you work till exhaustion. But the first year, 2 years of any business, guys, if your mentality is, I'm going to work until I can't work anymore, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, guys. So just make sure you understand that and you remember that no matter how much money you spend, no matter who you hire to do, if you're not doing the activity required to generate $15,000 a week, then you will never generate $15,000 a week. By the way, some of you are going to be happy doing $5,000 a week, because if you can write $5,000 a week, $25,000 a month, guys, you're likely hitting six figures or pretty close to it. And some of you, that might be your goal, right? I don't want to work anymore. I'm cool making this money, and that's okay too. But if you want to become a top producing agent, if you want to hit 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 a week, guys, Danielle, she did 70 plus hours a week in the month of December, right? When we had Christmas, New Year's. This lady is a beast, right? And she is not stopping. She works until exhaustion. Guess what? In the next 6 months, she'll have a team that's doing those things for her. And in the next year, she'll have an agency that does $1 million a month. That's the path that she is on now. So if that's the path you want to be on, these are the things that you have to do. Whether you do them with us, whether you do them on your own, whether you do them with somebody else, the mindset is the number one thing that can either crack this for you or spit you out and you're on to doing something else. Okay. So let's keep going. Now, we talked about, we were talking about leads, right? They come in, the leads come into the system. Nurturing sequence happens. You have to have it. You have to have a nurturing system. AI has to be hitting. You have to be able to organize these leads, because again, we're looking at this example. She's doing 193 leads a week. Of those 193 leads, how does she determine who to call first? How does she determine who to call back? How does she determine where the people that are most likely to, where are the people that are most likely to buy from her? How does she get to those people, right? And if she doesn't organize it, can she get to 200 leads a week? Probably not, guys. So a CRM, a process and a system, right? A pipeline, stages in a pipeline. So the lead comes in. What are we doing with that lead? We talked about it. Step one, we're going to go and we're going to feed it an initial message. When that person responds, if the agent's on the phone, then the AI continues. Great. And I see that you're in the state of Texas. Is that correct? Yes. And it's going to go through a conversation with that person on its own, and with the end result to book an appointment for that agent. So if you can't get to that call, or if you can't get to that lead right then and there because you're selling a deal, the system will automatically talk to that lead and book an appointment for you over the course of the next 24, 48 hours. Okay. You got to have a CRM that's doing this stuff, guys. If you're not, you're way out of the 8 ball and you're going to miss opportunities, because every agent out there that's producing has a system, right? They have nurturing, they have a CRM, they have AI that's hitting it. Now, what we set up is, in addition to the person filling out the lead form, right? Because we saw they click the video, they go into the lead form, and we collect information: name, email, phone number, city, state, zip. Who do you want your beneficiary to be? What's your date of birth, right? Basic questions. Now, once that person hits submit on that lead form, we don't stop there. Our system will then take that person to a landing page. And on that landing page, there's going to be some text that welcomes that person and says, hey, thank you so much for filling out this information. By the way, it looks like there's programs in your state that you could be approved to protect your family. Go ahead and book a call right below. Choose the best time and date for you. And we're going to bring them into this landing page that will allow them to book an appointment with you on their own, right? So that's the first step of our funnel. Step 1, lead form. Step 2, lead form submitted. We bring them into a funnel that's a calendar. It has reviews. It has a headshot of you. It's really, really well presented. Now the person chooses a time and date to speak to you, and they hit submit. When they hit submit, guys, they're going to go to a third funnel. We don't stop there. We're going to bring them into another landing page, and it's going to say, hey, Chad, thank you so much for booking your appointment. We look forward to speaking with you. By the way, if you can answer these questions below, it'll give us a better understanding of who you are and how we might be able to help you and save you time. And we present them with about 10 more questions. For final expense, it might be, what's your height and weight? Do you use tobacco? Do you have any medical conditions? How much coverage would you like your family to have? What's your budget for coverage? All these additional questions that you really can't ask in the beginning. Guys, I have such a special guest here, but I'm going to finish my sentence and then I'm going to introduce her. I just want to let her in because she likes to hear this stuff with us. So it's going to get those additional questions that you guys want to have from a lead, but not necessarily can ask it in the lead form at the beginning, because if you ask too many questions, people will be kind of turned off by it and not complete the form, right? Because remember, they don't know who you are. They've never heard of you. So our goal is to get them in, get them to give us the information so that then you as the agent and your system can go after it and get that person on a call with you. Okay. All right, guys, I want to make a quick introduction. I told you guys I didn't know if she was going to be able to make it or not because she's literally been on the phones dialing, but this is such a special treat, guys. I want to introduce Ashley Molinex, guys. She is a final expense agent. She has been a top producing agent for a year. She went through the whole journey, guys. She bought leads. She went to different IMOs. She's done all of it. And sometime around, I think March, April, Ashley.
Of 24.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. And 24 in March or April, she got referred to me. We started setting up her ads. We started helping her with lead gen. And she is just a superstar closer salesperson, guys. That is no BS. When she says it's time to dial, that is all she does. And so I wanted to bring her in, guys. Thank you, Ashley, for taking just a couple of minutes to come in and say hi to everybody.
I appreciate it. Sorry, I'm a little late. First off, the time change threw me off a little bit too, and I did get caught up on a call, but I'm here.
Awesome. So I wanted to bring you on. I wanted you to say hi to everybody and just give them a quick scope of the last year for you, what things have changed, and a little bit of like the struggles that you had in the beginning, because I think we have a lot of folks here now that are just starting, brand new agents that are trying to figure things out. Give them a little bit of that insight.
Yeah. So I'm working my way towards year 2 in the industry. And then within the first 18 months of me being, really 14 months of being in the industry, I was with 5 different IMOs. And in that time with the 5 different IMOs, I've seen everything on every spectrum, right? So my first IMO, it was the penny on the dollar leads, buy in bulk. No formal training, MLM type of structure, and I failed quickly. Within 3 weeks, I was in the hole $2,800. And that was no joke. From there, I joined another MLM who offered free leads. But the caveat to that, in order to access their free leads, is you had to sell your friends and family. Why? Because again, there was no training, there was no support, but they wanted to make some money off of you. And then they wanted you to recruit. And so that you would recruit someone who would refer their friends or family, and that's how their business thrived. And then from there, I knew I needed training I wasn't really much on leads. I was still oblivious to leads in the industry. I didn't know the importance of it at that time, but I just thought I just need to be trained. I need to figure out how to sell something. And then so I found an LOA model who actually had their leads dialed in. Much like you, Oscar, they had this system sorted out. They had the drip campaigns, the automations, the bot, the booking calendar, all of that stuff was phenomenal. For me, the missing piece was the training. So I had the training and then I got to see what a system like this is capable of. And from going from my first 6 months in life insurance, selling 3 policies, clearing training by week 2, I did 5 apps in a week. My next week I did 7, and then the next week I did 10, the next week I did 10, the next week and I just never stopped. It was consistent production. But that was an LOA model. If you don't know much about an LOA model, that just simply means like if you write a piece of business, you just get X amount of dollars. For me, every simplified issue product I wrote, I would only make $150. If it was GI, I'd make $75. Do the math. I was producing close to 50K in premiums and I was not making much money at all. So then I ventured out on my own and I thought, you know what? Now that I know how to sell, I need to get the leads coming in. So I went to another MLM that had the live transfer inbounds. Those are not anything special. Those are a waste of money. $55, $65 a pop is not an easy feat. And a lot of times on those live transfers, people don't know what you're even talking about. They'll say, oh, I got to go. And it hurts when you lose a call very quickly paying that much per lead. Even at that IMO, their Facebook leads cost $24 to $26. And when they would run specials, it would be $22 a lead. Like you just cannot, even me being a producer now, I cannot sustain my business paying that much per lead. It is impossible mathematically. You just can't do it. And so then, y'all, it's been a journey. So then I paid a trainer to teach me because I knew I had a skill set. I needed to know how to get the leads that I had at the LOA model. So then I paid someone $6,000, high ticket, to teach me how to do this. And when you try to put on a marketing hat and figure this out yourself, it is impossible. It is a mental struggle. You're going to question your copy. You're going to question how everything's set up. You're going to want to change your creatives. You just don't know what you don't know because you don't specialize in it. And I do not encourage anyone to start 2 businesses, learn how to be a marketer, and then also learn how to be an agent. That's not wise. It's not good for business. That's when I had bumped into Do Ford, and Do Ford introduced me to Oscar. When I met Oscar, I realized like, okay, so Oscar knows how to do this. He has the systems in place that I was thriving off of in my LOA. And so I gave Scale My Social full reins. I gave it to them. I didn't have to worry about my leads anymore. And guess what happened? I thrived. I was able to start closing up shop at a part-time capacity. I only dial when my kids are at school. So that's from like 8:30 to 1 o'clock, 1:30 in the afternoon. And I can easily and consecutively do 20, sometimes 28 in AP in a month. And I actually just look back too, because of the training and the know-how I have on the phones, with one carrier, I'm at 100% persistency. I'm at 89% persistency and 93% persistency. Like my business sticks because I know how to handle and manage people on the phone. So it has just been a journey. And to say the least, I'm so very thankful and grateful, Oscar, for Scale My Social, because I honestly don't know where I would be right now in life insurance without Scale My Social.
I thank you so much. I appreciate you saying those kind words and just sharing like the story, because this coincides exactly what I've been saying to you guys really from the beginning of the webinar, right? It's if you don't know what works, then you just don't know, right? Like you're going to be chasing something that you think should work, but you don't know how to gauge it. And so you're going to spend time and money. And it also goes into what I said before, which is I don't have anything secret, guys. What I do is not secret. It's just the system that is set up properly from the beginning that you guys don't have to figure out. It's already there. We know that it works. You just have to plug yourself into it. The secret is you guys. This is the secret, because I look at somebody like Ashley who she is just, look, and here's someone that isn't working 60 hours, 70 hours a week, right? She is working almost part-time. But what I can tell you, and I know for a fact, is that when Ashley logs into Dial, that is all Ashley is doing. She's not getting up every 10 minutes. She's not looking at her emails. She's not on social. She's not doing any of those things. She spends from 8 a.m. to whatever time it is. She is just dialing and doing activity. And the activity, guys, is the only thing that's going to make you better, right? The activity and the system that you're plugged into are the two things that are going to get you to where you want to be. So for this business, guys, leads and system. And the leads, we've broken down everything, the process, how we do it, how you can piggyback on the system that's worked for hundreds of agents, dozens of agencies, and agents like Ashley. So we have that covered. Then it's the system, right? What is the system that you're using? Are you being coached? Are you becoming a good salesperson? Do you know how to sell final expense? These are the other components that are so important, guys. And if you haven't followed Ashley, or if you don't know who Ashley is, go follow her. We're going to drop here. I think, Ashley, you have access to the comments. Can you drop in the comments your YouTube channel? There it is. There's an email. Drop your YouTube channel. And guys, it's incredible. She has been recently, she's been helping agents, right, become better salespeople, get to where they need to get to where she has gotten to, right, from her trials, from learning, from up and down. So if you're looking for that, if you're like, man, I need help also with like coaching, I need sales help, I need to, what pitch do I use? I highly recommend you go follow Ashley, because she's one of the few agents, top agents, right? For the amount of time that she's working, she is in the top 3-5% of the industry. So even though she might not be writing 70 grand a month, she's also not working 60, 70 hours a week, right? So when you compare those two, she is actually a 1, 2, 3% producing agent out there because of the amount of hours that she works. So guys, go follow her and listen to what she says. She connects with people so well. I love her sales way and her sales strategy. So if you need that, go follow her, guys. On the other side of the leads, it's like, look, you need this system. You got to have, and again, whether you do it on your own, whether you go with somebody else, today is about value, right? You want to do business with us? Can we help you? Great. Get in touch with us. We'll go over it. And if we can help you, we will. But more importantly, guys, take what I've said in this webinar and go apply it. Do it on your own. Find someone else to implement it for you, but just implement the system that I just said. Step 1, create. If you're going to generate leads, have solid creatives, make good creatives. Don't slap an image together and think that it's going to result in something good. Create the campaign properly. Make sure you follow a structure on how that campaign needs to be created. Once the campaign is created, make sure that you have a CRM set up that gives you notifications, that provides you with AI booking bots, that provides you with workflows that are going to go after your leads even after you're done calling them. Because if we go to the example that I've shown you before on the case study, right? 193 leads a week. That means, guys, that by week 2, by week 3, you're almost at 1,000 people that you need to somehow keep up with, dial to be able to get the results that you're looking for. And if you don't have a system, if your CRM isn't going after leads that are 7+ days old and sending them a new message, and leads that are 14 days old and 30 days old and 60 days old, and constantly hitting your leads, you're not going to be able to.
Can I add one thing?
Please come on in. Tell us.
Yeah. So one thing that I do want to highlight for agents too, because I've operated on all spectrums again, to function as a broker from a place of abundance is absolutely critical. And by abundance, I mean you wake up every morning and you know that you have leads there waiting for you. Okay. So when you wake up every morning and you have to go to your IMO or you have to go to your third party vendor and you have to buy a new lead stack and you have to make that commitment to make that new purchase, and then your leads are delayed by 2 or 3 days, they're not fresh, they're not hot, they're exclusive, your mental struggle in life insurance is going to cause you to crumble. Being able to wake up every day and consecutively have a set amount of leads coming in. For example, me, I'm at 110 to 120 leads a week. Okay. And I have everything mapped out to how many pickups I have, how many people I get to quote. I know, and I can base my entire production annually because I dialed in. If I want one week, say I wanted to work full time, it's very easy for me to do. I go into Meta and I say, hey, spend more money on leads, and then the faucet will flow. Or if I need to dial it back, I have complete autonomy and it's all at cost. So I didn't work all weekend and I woke up this morning, I showed up, I had 43 leads. I know that I have 3 sales and they're just sitting there waiting for me. So to work from a place of abundance and a place of consistency is absolutely critical. You have to have that in life insurance.
It's so key. It's so key. And I think it's one of these things that, again, you don't realize that until you go through the opposite, which is not having those things, right? Which is like every week struggling, not having enough leads, because you might want to dial 400 dials a day, but if you don't have the amount of leads to make those dials, you can't dial the same 30 numbers 400 times a day, right? That doesn't work.
And I've seen agents who have said, well, I'm going to stop spending money on ad sets. I'm going to stop buying new leads because I have aged data. And so they'll go off of their aged leads and they'll try to profit off of that. Yes, there is old gold in old leads, but it is a fight and it is a struggle. So as an agent, yes, you need to dial your old leads. And to me, an old lead is anything past 3 days in life insurance. I don't care what anyone's told you. If it's 3 days or older, it is an aged lead. We are in everyone's constantly advertised to, we're constantly stimulated. After 3 days, they're not going to remember the importance of why they clicked on that. And so to be able to have the constant flow, to be able to get those top of mind people, and then also as you catch up with that, then you can dial your old stuff. But to be honest, when you're flowing and that skill set is tapped in and you are scripted out and you know exactly what you're going to do every call, I never touched age data. Once they get to age like day 3, good luck if I can even call them again, because my leads are flowing in and I'm on the phone so much. I can move people to a conversation. That's where you want to be. And that's how you thrive as a business owner in Final Expense.
It's so good. Yeah, I mean, this is it, guys, right? And that's why the system works, because if you're focused on just dialing, you want something that can send a message to a lead that's 14 days old. Not that you're going to do it. You don't have time to do it. But if your system can send that message, how many people, right? Think about this. A month goes by, 1,000 leads are now in your system. Now you're in month 2. Now there's 2,000 leads in your system. Now month 2, you're never going to get back to the leads that you generated a month or 2 ago. But what if a message could go out to those people that says, hey, just touching base, were you able to secure and protect your family? Question mark. If that person says, no, I'm still looking for it, that just became a new lead.
Yep.
Right? It just became a new lead that you had already paid for. So guys, the system that you utilize is so important. Ashley, I don't want to take any more of your time. I appreciate you so much for coming on and giving us a couple minutes. Thank you. Thank you so much. Guys, remember, follow Ashley. Go look her up on YouTube. She has an incredible channel, constantly putting content out there. And stay tuned. There's something really special that she's going to be rolling out in the coming weeks. Stay tuned for it, guys, because I think this is what a lot of folks are missing. So follow her, follow me as well, and you'll get that. Thank you so much, Ashley. Okay, guys. So now I'm going to leave these last 5 minutes of the webinar just to kind of take some questions. I think I've gone through everything. Now, I'll say this. We set up the entire system for you. This is a done-for-you system. You are not doing anything. There's about 3 things that you need to do if you decide to utilize our services, and that's going to be give us access to your Facebook account. If you don't have one, we help one create for you. Give us access to your CRM. If you don't have one, we get you set up on 4 or 5 different partners that we use that are out there. But from there, We take it, guys. It takes us about 7 to 10 business days to create the system for you, to get actors and actresses to do the videos, edit, script, do everything. We assign a person to your system to make sure onboarding is easy and is efficient. After those 7 to 10 days, I personally jump on a call with you. We plan, we go live. From the moment we go live, we run your campaigns, guys. We run them for you. You don't have to worry about anything. You don't have to worry about, is it working? Do I change? What do I do? We manage your entire lead generation system month in and month out. That's the product. That's the service that we provide. If you guys want more information on all of that, I'm pretty sure Chad's been putting our calendar on here. I'm even seeing the phones light up with calendar bookings that you guys are already doing. So book a call with us, right? If we can help, we're here to help. If we can't, and we can just provide you value, we're here for it, guys. Okay. I'm going to open the floor for the last few minutes of the webinar. Shoot your questions, guys. I'm going to pick a couple here and start answering some of these live, but there's still 92 people in this thing. We've been in here for an hour and a half, guys. This is incredible. I want to say thank you to everybody that sat through this and that's still here. Chad, do you guys have Agent Autopilot for a CRM? Bobby, good question. So we do work with Agent Autopilot. It is one of our partner CRMs. So if you already have Agent Autopilot and you want to use our system, we can absolutely incorporate into Agent Autopilot. Because of chargebacks and beginners' lack of experience, what percentage take on FE sales do you suggest for the first year? So chargebacks, I would say that you want to know in your head that 15 to 20% of your business could fall out. That's realistic. And in the first 3 months, it could be even a little bit more, right? Because if you're out there and you're learning from a salesperson that's too aggressive and that pushes you to charge or get people to spend more on a final expense policy, you're going to see a higher percentage of chargebacks, right? Guys, final expense specifically, these are people on fixed incomes. They don't have a lot of money. Pushing something down their throat might get you the sale. It is not going to get it to stick. You're going to get cancellations and chargebacks. My style for final expense, and Ashley, I think she's there, but her style is the same. She is not aggressive, right? She is not trying to get people to spend more. She is trying to do discovery on what somebody can actually afford and building a plan based on that affordability that that person has. But I think 15 to 20% is a good number for you to have and know on chargebacks. What if we want to be the face on our own videos? Jennifer Fishmore, fantastic. I actually just started a campaign for an agent that started with us 2 weeks ago, and he wanted to film his own videos. He did that. He's generating leads right now at under $5 a piece. He is in 37 states, so he's in a lot of states. But of course, we're in an age of branding, guys. We're in an age of the more your face can be out there, the more you can be in front of someone and say, hey, I'm going to be the one calling you specifically. People love that stuff. So yes, we would send you the scripts, you film them, and then we do all the editing and producing for your videos. What is the cost per month? We have different options depending on whether it's an agent or an agency. Again, book a call with us, guys. Chad or one of us will go through all of these things as far as pricing, cost per month, all that stuff. We'll be happy to go through. Let's see. Still waiting to hear what the best companies you like to use and why. Oh, you know what? Ashley, are you still there? Can I bring you on for 1 second? Yes. Okay. Ashley, can you tell us what are the best companies right now that you like to use for final expense? What are your top? Give us your top 3 carriers.
Yeah. So for your healthy people, I would say lead with American Amicable. And then for my middle of the road people, I have been using Sika. However, the new Trans America Express is phenomenal. And they also have a concierge service, and they will take comorbidities. You can get day one coverage for a lot of things. Like a lot of things. So do your research on Transamerica, the Express. And the cool thing about that is their commission rates are higher on that one as well. And then of course, I always lean on GTL. For my really sick people, I tend not to write a lot of AIG GI business anymore. GI business is just really bad business. It's not sticky. My persistency with GI is like 44%. So I avoid writing it if I can.
There it is, guys. Okay, so you got your 3 carriers. We all got 30 seconds, so this thing's going to cut off right in the next 30 seconds, guys. What are the top 5 states, guys? Texas, Illinois, California, Florida. Your highest populated states are those states that you want to go after first and foremost. Which dialers, guys? There's a few of them. There's Kixi, there's Wave, which is inside of the CRM. Book a call with us, guys. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here today. I appreciate you. Follow us on Scale My Social on any social media. Book a call with us. Let's get 2025 running, guys, and have a good one. We appreciate everybody out there, and we are out. See you guys later.